020 722 42000.
Text 81333. Start your message with the word London.
BBC London 94.9.
Well, it's now 8:39 and an influential right-leaning think tank has described our so-called sink estates as nothing short of a national embarrassment and says that all of the major parties need to make turning them round one of their main priorities over the next 10 years. The group is called Policy Exchange and it says that years of neglect have led to acute social problems that are, and I quote, entrenched and generational. It points to the broad farm estate in Tottenham as being particularly badly affected. Pauline Pierce became known as the Hackney heroine when she stood up to groups of rioters in 2011, and Pauline joins us once again in the studio. Good morning, Pauline.
Good morning.
So from your experiences in North London, is this report right? Is it accurate?
It's bang on, as we would say. You know, it is so bang on. But it's a shame that they have to go into all these reports. I mean, I've been talking about this ever since the riots happened. I've been going on about the state of estates, the way, the conditions people have to live in, how atrocious they are. But I mean, eventually they have to do reports and it all comes out into the open.
What are the worst things that people have to deal with then?
Well, obviously, there's the fear of gangs within the estates, you know, people feeling that they have to be shut away in a certain, you know, overprotective over their home areas. There's the postcode wars and all of these sort of things that people have to deal with. There is the social violence, the domestic violence. There's so many issues that you just can't possibly touch base with them all.
Do you think there's ever a sense in which people feel on those estates somehow they've been put there, plonked there and left there, and they're ring-fenced by their own troubles and no one really cares?
Well, kind of, because, you know, this is what I said was part of the circle of the postcode wars, because you've got a little estate and someone thought it was a fantastic idea to build the estate, put the doctor's surgery there, the rent office there, community centre
to try and create like a mini village almost in London.
So everyone's kind of encapsulated in their own little area. So of course, you know, when you go out of that area, you suddenly come involved with another area. There's all these clashes because people aren't familiar with each other.
Is there any way to get around this kind of... It's a social apartheid, really,
well,
isn't it?
Well, it is. It's kind of a separating... and it's really kind of disruptive in its own way, because now we've got social exclusions across the board where people are feeling that they don't belong within their own zone.
Have you seen examples of single people who've decided to take matters into their own hands and try and turn things around? We were hearing earlier about Jack Rollins, the policeman, who in South London started these job fairs. There are other examples of women who've tried to do various things to make the estate look better. What's your experience, Pauline, and what works?
There are many things out there. I say anything works if you truly believe in it and go for it. You know, there are people out there in the community that put together little day events for children, little coach trips, but these are the people that sadly don't get mentioned and don't get a look in and don't have a say in what's going on. They just say, oh, I've had enough. They'll invest their own finance and do something. And it's a shame, because we do need the government to stand up and recognise and say, look, this is enough. We do need to invest in these communities, because these are the communities that you expect to turn around and vote for you.
And in your experience, Pauline, how much damage or many problems can one or two troubled families inflict on an estate? Is that what it's all about, really? Because then presumably other children from the area might join them up. They've got a kind of place to go to, and they don't feel that they're actually being judged by their parents.
There's nowhere for the children to go, hence why I keep harping on about these community centres that are inclusive of your whole borough. There's nowhere for them to go. They loiter on the streets, the police come along and pick them up. It's just a vicious circle. You know, you've got 3 generations living under one roof, grandma, grandpa, children. You know, there's no space. The bedroom tax is stressful. They can't afford to eat properly. They can't afford to dress properly. There's peer pressure. It's a horrible environment to have to live and grow in.
And yet we look ahead to the future and we're seeing, they say, economic recovery, we're out of recession, the economy is booming. We've spoken a lot about the regeneration of Tottenham and Hackney. Is any of that filtering down yet, Pauline, do you think?
The trickling effect that we heard of, it's supposed to be trickling from the top and making its way through. No.
In a word.
Okay,
It's
I would
not
say
happening.
get off the fence, but we think you're coming on that one.
We're not trickling down. They're trickling people out. You know, they're moving them out of their boroughs, pricing them out. They have to go away because they can't afford to live somewhere that they were born in with their families and etc.
Pauline, what do you think is the single most important thing that the government or your local council can do?
People say it's not so much about investing money, but money is a big issue because these people haven't got money. So they do need to invest in the areas in a positive way. Go into those areas, ask the whole vast majority of the people living there what they want, what they need. It's only people that live there that can decide what they need.
Thank you for joining us, Pauline Pierce. There, may I say how well we think you're looking, and good luck with your operation,
Thank
Pauline.
you.
And we'll talk again, I'm sure. Pauline Pierce, who became, of course, known as the Hackney heroine when she stood up to a group of rioters in 2011. It's now 8:45. Time for the sports. Sorry, sports on the way later. Time now for the travel latest for London. Here's Paul Murphy-Cast.